Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome. I'm Vera Stewart, and I am so excited today to be partnering with Smithfield. We have got some fantastic recipes that we're going to make. They're going to make it all easy for you during this holiday season. The first recipe we're going to do is using leftover spiral ham. I know I always cook the big ham at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and this is a fantastic recipe to use that little bit that's left over. It uses crispy rice, onions, mushrooms, just fantastic. Then we're going to move into an appetizer dish using Smithfield's bacon and sausage. Delicious. Stuffing a mushroom with cornbread and all kinds of delicious seasonings. It's going to be really good. And then are you looking for a new breakfast idea? Well, how about a frittata using their diced ham? We're going to do a bacon lattice to go on top. It is going to be so pretty you're not going to want to eat it. And then finally, Lodge Cast Iron is also working with us today. We're going to be giving away a bunch of these cast iron skillets. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get started on that crispy rice dish. Gosh, this ham dish is so delicious that I'm going to start making sure that I always have leftover ham because it is wonderful. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've put a little bit of sesame oil, just about a half a tablespoon, in my cast iron skillet. And you're going to actually use already pre-cooked rice. And I've just cooked it till it's gotten kind of crisp, about 7 minutes. It's going to kind of pop in the pan and get nice and hot. And then I've started my onions and mushrooms in another pan just because, just for TV's sake, I can't swap back and forth. But when you do this at home, you can do every bit of this right here in this one cast iron skillet. So the onions and mushrooms are just going to kind of get translucent in the pan. And while that's going on, I'm going to get started with the rest of this recipe. So we're going to add in the rest of the rice and chili sauce. And you know, the Fresh Market has so many international condiments in their store that you can use. So this sesame oil is from there that I used in the pan. And then this chili sauce is out of that same section in the store. This is gonna add a little bit of a punch to this, a little kick, so it's gonna be really good. All right, and in the meantime, I've got this on about a medium-high heat. So now, all I did was just dice the leftover slices of ham. I'm going to add that. And now I'm going to add a little bit more oil, but this time I'm going to use canola oil and not the sesame. A little bit of sesame oil goes a long way. The mushroom and onions are looking good. So then the last thing is cilantro. Now that looks like quite a lot, but honestly, you need every bit of it. When we were testing this recipe, I thought, I'm not gonna add all that. And then after we tasted it, we thought, yeah, we need every bit of it. So just look how colorful this is. And the fact that you can make it all in one skillet really makes it easy this time of year, for heaven's sakes. And you know, honestly, it's great leftover. Even if you make this and have some left, it's perfect. All right, well, these are about ready to go in. So now I'm going to add that. Gosh, the aroma is fantastic. So, you know, Smithfield was founded in 1936, and obviously most every home in America has had something that came from the Smithfield Company. I know I've used their products for years, and they have a place on their website called the Holiday Hub. So if you love this recipe, I want you to go there because they've got all kinds of recipes, tips, suggestions for how to use their product, how long it'll last, just really great information there. And then, you know, the spiral ham comes in 7 different varieties. So if you're looking for a great Christmas gift, this is another idea. Food makes such a great gift. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to this and stir that together. But this is just a dish that, again, you want to use every single bit of the ham. One other thing that I love to do with that bone at the very end is I'm going to cook that in a stock pot, and I'm going to be ready to make some soup with some of the leftover vegetables that I have during the holiday season. So as this continues to get worked in and the seasonings go through it, I want you to come back with me in just a few minutes because we're going to get that mushroom appetizer going, and I'm going to give you some more information on the cast iron lodge giveaway that we're going to do at the end. So come back and join me. Ooh, it smells so good in here. Welcome back, everybody, and I am excited to be smelling that rice in the warming drawer. It's going to be delicious. And now we're starting on an appetizer recipe that actually I've been doing stuffed mushrooms for years, but I have never put this combination together, and it is fantastic. So I've gone ahead and browned my Smithfield bulk sausage, and this is premium pork sausage. As you can see, there's very little oil in the bottom of the pan, but I'm just going to pour it into a prepared bowl with a little bit of paper towel just to get a little bit of that out of there. And that's just fantastic. And now the mushrooms, you know, you don't ever want to put mushrooms under water, but just take a little towel and just brush what might be on there off. And then you're going to lay the mushroom caps with the stems out, and I went ahead and popped the stems out because I'm actually using the stems in the filling. So you've got all different sizes and shapes here, but just as an example, if for some reason it's kind of lopsided and it won't sit straight, just take your knife and just barely sliver a little piece off, and you've prepared a flat surface so that that won't be rolling around on your sheet pan when you're baking. Alrighty, so the ingredients in this are amazing. We've got the Smithfield hometown favorite bacon in here. It's just completely amazing. And I've crumbled that up. Now I'm going to add in some softened cream cheese, some thyme, and we're just going to mix that together. And you want to soften that cream cheese just a little bit. I put it in the microwave for maybe 10 seconds just so you can work with it in the bowl. All right, I'm going to add in the sausage to that. And you don't have to cook the sausage to death either because it's going to keep cooking when it goes into the mushroom cap. And now I'm going to add in the mushroom stems that we cut up, so you don't waste anything in this recipe. And the next ingredient that makes this really good to me is the fact that it has cornbread in it. So I went ahead and made my cornbread because I actually love this recipe. And as always, all of our recipes are available on our website at VeryVera.com. But I took my Lodge cast iron skillet. I put about 2 tablespoons of bacon drippings, that's what makes this so good, in the bottom of the pan. Then I mixed my all-purpose flour with some stone-milled cornmeal. Then I added salt, baking powder, baking soda, got buttermilk, melted butter, and an egg. Mix the dry ingredients together, mix the wet ingredients together, and then pour the wet into the dry. And you don't want to stir it too much. Just put your liquid in and let it work itself around. Stir it just until it's combined, and then pour that into that hot bacon drippings because you put that pan in the oven, and now you're going to pour that batter into the hot pan, and it's going to bake until it's golden brown, and just look at it. So I need about a cup of this. This is nice and cool now. So I'm just going to crumble, got my 1 cup measuring. But if you, for some reason, want to make this recipe and you don't have time to make the cornbread, let me tell you who has the best cornbread in town. That is the Fresh Market. So just go in, you can either do the muffins or squared away in a pan. And at this point, I'm going to add in my Parmesan cheese. And believe it or not, the best way to get this mixed up now is with your hands. Just get in there and get that all squared away. And when we made this yesterday, I actually had a little bit left over. And so what I did was, I did 2 big portobello mushrooms and used it as a side dish. So all you're gonna do at this point is just top each mushroom cap with as much as you can possibly fill it in there. I've got my oven on 400 degrees. These are gonna go in for about 10 or 12 minutes just to get everything hot through. So we're gonna keep those aromas going in here with all this wonderful Smithfield. And when we come back in Vera's Corner today, I'm gonna give you tips on how to season that brand new cast iron skillet that you might be winning today, or if you've got an heirloom that's rusty, we're gonna teach you how to get it clean and seasoned again. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Do you have a brand new cast iron skillet or maybe a family heirloom that's gotten a little rusty? Well, today I'm going to show you how to season the new one and refurbish the old. If the skillet contains rust, use steel wool and a mild dish soap to scrub the entire skillet inside and out and strip it to its base layer. Remember to use only dish soap when you're re-seasoning a skillet. Rinse away the soap with hot water and dry with a dish towel. Then place the skillet on the stove to evaporate the rest of the water. Your skillet should be completely dry before proceeding. Pour about 3 tablespoons of canola oil into the pan and spread all over, inside and out, with paper towels. Use a dry paper towel to go back over the skillet and remove as much of the excess oil as possible. Place the skillet upside down in an oven that's as hot as it'll go, preferably 450 degrees or higher. After an hour, turn off the heat and allow the skillet to cool completely in the oven before removing. You should be left with a glossy layer of seasoning and you're ready to cook. Check out VeryVera.com for a delicious cast iron steak recipe. Welcome back, everybody, and I know, for one, that you probably learned a little bit during Vera's Corner today about how to season a brand new cast iron skillet, and then hopefully if you've got one that's gotten a little rusty and you didn't think you could use it anymore, you're going to pull it out. So I'm putting this one to good use right now with a breakfast dish that honestly you could have for supper. I mean, it's just a great, delicious way to get eggs, protein into your diet, and it's a great use of leftover Smithfield ham or their cubed ham product that if you're in a hurry and you've got to make a quick meal and you don't have any plans, I highly recommend just picking up a lot of them. They've got the dice, the cube, just a way to make something quick and easy. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cooking down some spinach. Just getting that ready to go. And I'm going to add in some spring onion. And you know, spinach looks like a lot until it starts cooking and then it gets low. All right. I'm going to turn down my heat to about a medium low. And I'm going to add in this cubed ham. And all of this is the actual guts to this frittata. It's going to be eggs and Parmesan cheese. So let's put in a little bit of salt and some ground pepper. And this is just about ready. In the meantime, I'm going to take Parmesan and add that to my eggs. And this has kind of a two-process. We're going to cook it on top of the stove for a few minutes, and then we're going to brown it under the broiler in the oven. So let me give this just a little bit of a whirl. And you know how I am about presentation. This is a beautiful dish just like it is. You can serve it in the cast iron skillet. But we came up with a great use for another one of Smithfield's products, and that is their hometown favorite original bacon that we're going to do a lattice top. So let me get these eggs stirred in real good. Like I said, this is going to take a few minutes, and then we're going to get started on the lattice top. And I love to leave the spinach a little chunky. All right, so this is on the right heat. I'm going to walk down, and we're going to get started on the lattice covering that's going to go over it. So what I've done here is I've taken the bottom, flipped the pan over, and I've actually drawn the size of the skillet. And this is just like a lattice pie crust, and again, this is their hickory smoked bacon that I absolutely love. So we're gonna make it the size of our circle. So I want it pretty close together, and this is gonna shrink, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't go all the way across. But your guests are gonna be so thrilled when they see how much trouble you went to for the presentation part. You know, I'm named after my grandmother, Vera, whose nickname was VeryVera because everything she did was very. So I have to kind of live up to my name by doing something that's a little different. All right, so I'm folding every other one back, and then we're going to start the lattice procedure. So if you've never done this with pie crust, that would be really something fun to do with your young person during the holidays, is to do either this with bacon or do it with pie crust. All right, so we're just gonna fold this back so you've got the over and under look going. And because there will be some bacon drippings when you cook this, you don't want to put this directly on the frittata that's down there in the cast iron skillet. We're going to actually bake this in the oven, which is really a unique process for cooking bacon anyway, just putting it on a sheet pan. So this is going to go in a 400-degree oven about 6 inches below the heat source. And I'm using my Wolf Series M-Series oven to do that. So I'm going to crimp the sides. This is going to bake. This will be part of the presentation. And when we come back from the break, we're going to have a beautiful presentation. We're going to tell you how to win the giveaway today for the lodge, and we're going to show you how Smithfield can be your go-to this holiday season. Well, for one thing, I know that all the men in my family would be in hog heaven right now with the aromas that I am in front of. It is amazing. And you know, Smithfield is making it really easy for everybody this holiday season with all of the prepackaged, already cut, cubed, diced, spiral sliced. I mean, they just have thought of everything. So certainly I want to invite you to go to our website at VeryVera.com to get these recipes and enjoy your holiday season while you're entertaining and having really delicious food for your friends and family. So let's kind of recap what we did today. We've had a lot of fun and really have made really great use of leftovers and the introduction of new products. So let's start with the crispy rice dish that was easy. The rice was already cooked. You're buying pre-cooked rice, putting that in the cast iron skillet, and then adding in the onions, the mushrooms, the fresh herbs, the cilantro, and then that chili sauce. The reason we use that was we want to give it a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of hot, and it really makes a great dish. Then the mushrooms. If you're looking for a new appetizer, you know, we've all been doing stuffed mushrooms for years, but have you ever put cornbread in it? And remember, I gave you the recipe for the cornbread that's easy, and then sent you to the fresh market to get some if you were out of time. So that's a great dish that you can make ahead. And then the frittata. Breakfast, dinner, everybody loves eggs no matter what time of day. This was easy with sauteing the spinach with a little bit of onion and the cubed ham that Smithfield cubed for you. And then we put that in the oven, and I did a lattice top, something really fun to do with your young people. And look how beautifully it makes the presentation appear. It's just fantastic. So a lot of this we've used the dish that we cooked it in, and Lodge, you know, is giving away 8 of these cast iron skillets at the end of the show this week, and they have really been in the news lately. Garden and Gun featured them this month. So if you want to know more about the Lodge Company, I hope you'll look at that. So let's talk about that giveaway, because we want you to be cooking in this cast iron skillet. So I want you to like the VeryVera show on Facebook, like and share the contest post, then tell us where you're watching the show. You know, we're everywhere from Columbus, Georgia to Indianapolis, so we want to know where you're watching. And then tag a friend. You know, the thing that you do during the holidays is you give a special gift to a friend. So there's nothing better than to share with a friend where they can find great recipes and great tips for entertaining on the VeryVera show. So we've got a great idea for you. If you run out of ideas for centerpieces, use a Smithfield ham, because it certainly makes the table look beautiful. And be sure to join us next week. Speaking of great recipes, I'm going to have 3 Southern Junior League cookbooks that we're featuring. I'm going to have a member of each of those organizations with us. So I want you to join us, and remember, no matter what you do it in good taste, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.